Hello, and welcome to Soc 204Z, Introduction to Sociology. My name is Dr. Ken Rutgers. You can call me Ken, Dr. Rutgers, Mr. Rutgers, whatever is respectful. This is our online course, and we're going to go over the syllabus. So welcome to the class, and looking forward to a great term with you all. Let's take a look. Open your syllabus on Canvas if you haven't. You can always pause it if you need to take a second. Okay, so let's start with page 1, and we'll just kind of work our way through. And I'm just going to talk about the highlights. I don't want to go on and on. Most of it you can read for yourself. If you have any questions, you can meet with in our office hours or email me. So check the CRN number and make sure you're in the right class. My office hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1:30 to 3 in Modoc 213. And we can meet Zoom, we can meet in person, we can even talk on the phone. That is my cell number. That's the easiest. That's not the preferred way, but if you need to get a hold of me, text or call, you can. Let's see what else. Yeah, so we can either do it within that time frame or by appointment outside of that 1:30 to 3 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My preferred way of communication is with email, and my COCC email you have right there. I would encourage you to please use your COCC email address, because the filters we have, if you use another email, a Gmail or a Mac.com account, it may not get through. It'll see it as junk or a spam, and it'll probably filter it out. So, okay, course description. I'll let you read that, and I'll also let you read the course learning outcomes for 204. And sometimes if I still say 201, we've changed just recently from 201 to 204. So, there might be some leftover in my mind 201 as I talk about it, or on the syllabus and other materials. Okay, so a little bit of patience and grace would be appreciated. Okay, the course material is a prepaid electronic textbook, and it's called The Real World: An Introduction to Sociology. It's the 9th edition. And if you prefer, some people say, hey, I like to have it in hard copy so I can read it, on paper with black ink. You can feel free to buy a used copy on your own, 7th or 8th edition, even a 6th edition. You could probably pick it up pretty cheap online, used. There's also extra video resources. One source is through Crash Course Sociology. They're pretty amazing videos. It's worth even just kind of checking out. I have links specifically to the chapters on the writing assignments. So when you go open up your writing assignment, you're going to have links to probably 2 or 3 different Crash Course Sociology videos. Those are not mandatory. They're there for you to use if you want to engage. If you want to drink from the fire hydrant, I can open it up for you. Or if you're just checking the box and want whatever grade you're after, that's fine too. I know that this is a general ed class, so I'm under no illusions. The other extra video resource that I have, that's also linked on the writing assignments based on chapters. So a chapter writing assignment is a link to a online YouTube video lecture that I gave for that chapter. So every writing assignment at the top has a link to my YouTube lecture for that chapter that I've recorded in the past, and the Crash Course Sociology. Again, those are not mandatory. Those are optional. Feel free to use that kind of information. And if you want more information, let me know. Let's go down to writing assignments near the bottom of page 1, or the assignments. There's 3 assignments. One is I talked about the writing assignment. We'll visit that a little later. But basically, there are 9 of them, chapters 1 through 9, but not including chapter 2, and chapters 10 and 11 combined into one writing assignment for those 2. The -1 is I will drop your lowest score, and they're worth each 25 points a piece. That's 200 points, or 40% of your grade are writing assignments. And we'll talk a little bit more in detail on that in a little bit. The second is a discussion board. The first discussion board is just roll call. Make sure you respond to that by Tuesday night. If you do not, then on Wednesday I will drop you from the class, as is our policy, because there are probably other people that are going to be contacting me, waitlisting, can I get in? And so if you're interested in staying in the course and you've signed up for it, then fill out the discussion board for this Tuesday, September 23rd. Okay, those are 25 points each. The other six are accumulation of 3 discussion boards. And each discussion board beyond this first initial one has a post, and then the other grade is 2 responses. Okay, and then a second set discussion board, and then a third set discussion board. So those have a post and a response times 3 is 6, plus the roll call intro on Tuesday. That gets you to number 7. That's 35% of your grade. And the last one, assignment summary. The third one is midterm and final exam. So your exams, midterms were 50, final exams were 75. That's 25%, or a quarter of your grade, are exams. Okay, so that's the first page. Let's just take a quick look at page 2, which is a detailed weekly summary. Discussion boards outside this first week are due on Wednesdays, and writing assignments are due on Mondays. So you can see I have a pattern. There's a rhyme and a reason. I want you to spend more time in sociology, concepts, understanding, reading, learning, than time spent trying to figure out how to navigate a syllabus and the course and my crazy structure. So I try to keep it real simple, where every week kind of tends to be very similar, so you don't have to spend as much time. Final exam is due and submitted by 11:59 p.m. Wednesday, December 10th. Okay, page 3 is, let's just revisit the 3 assignments, the 3 key assignments real quick. The writing assignment, I mentioned it earlier, told you a little bit about it. You've got 9 of those. I dropped the lowest one. They're worth 25 points each. Times 8 is, or times 9 minus 1, which is 8, 200 points, okay? Every day that it's late is a 10% penalty. So, stickler for getting it in, getting it done. I do have a cap on penalties. So when you reach more than 5 days, then there's a 50% penalty, and you can turn in a late assignment all the way up until the final exam on that Wednesday, December 10th, and with a 50% penalty. So, zeros are killers. So if, you hit a pothole or a speed bump in life during the term, and you can recover from that, there's still hope that you can pass the class, because zeros are what kills you, and a good assignment you can still get half credit for if you do a good job on it. Okay, the discussion boards we talked about. Again, 1 post, 2 responses to your classmates, and you get in each of the 3 main discussion boards, it's a 2-parter, right? You have the post, which is part 1, and that's 25 points, and you have the response, 2 of those, which is for a total of 25 points. Okay. And then the final exams, those are pretty basic. You can read that. That's important to read, but I'll let you read that on your own. Okay, let's talk a little bit toward the bottom of page 3, use of artificial intelligence. I think, I'm not a big fan of Wikipedia because it has its biases. People get paid. The editors at Wikipedia get paid to skew things in the favor of those who are paying them. And I still think it's not a bad source. I think AI is even more biased, but it's also, like Wikipedia, not a bad place to get some information if you're doing some research. It's not a bad place to start, but it's not the end all be all. I think it helps you expand your perspectives. It's a good, not a bad place to start. But again, both have their biases. I think Wikipedia is less biased. But anyway, if you want to use it, there are some guidelines. Number one, to gain additional information, which I kind of stated already, it may be used in summary for writing assignments to help you on maybe a research project. Number two, limited and reasonable use in assignments as a direct quote. So if you use it, you got to put it in your sources or bibliography. If you direct quote it, you also have to put it in your bibliography and put it in quotation marks. And so make sure you just list it. I know, hey, look, this is the age of AI. It's just, there are challenges with the academic use of AI as a primary source. For this course and other academic courses, it does have bias, and it may not provide the highest academic level, especially as it relates to sociological perspectives, concepts, and theories. Okay, and I will tell you, most AI is going to be very heavily slanted toward conflict theory, or what's sometimes called critical theory. And so, we're going to be also using functionalism and symbolic interactionism, and we're going to be working with definitions of the concepts and theories that is sociology. Anthropology has definitions for their concepts and theories. So does philosophy. So does psychology. Okay. So writing assignments is shift down. That's it for the use of artificial intelligence. So be careful if you use it and you don't follow those guidelines. I'll give you an automatic F on your first time. If you do it again without following those guidelines, then I'm going to remove you from the class. So, just do the work, get the reward of having done the work. You're here in college to learn. I know some of these classes that you take at this level are checking the boxes, but if you're going to put in the time to take the class, you might as well learn something. Okay. Writing assignments typed and uploaded to Canvas. Include your name, date, assignment title, and course, which I've put in a bunch of those. And again, it probably says 201, so I'm still working on shifting over to 204. So rubric. Read the rubric. I talked about that earlier. Use that as your guideline for the kind of grade you want. Hey, you know what? If you're okay with C's because they get degrees, great. I'm not going to think any less of you. Life's about trade-offs. Life is about what you value and where you want to spend your time and energy and resources. Okay, extra credit. Moving on to the bottom of page 3. I'm not a big fan of extra credit, but I'm here to facilitate your learning journey in this class, in this course. And if you guys want an extra credit assignment, let me know. Come up with an idea. Be assertive. Put it out there. Throw it down. And if you come up with a good one, then we'll make something that everyone can do, and we'll make it a class-wide extra credit assignment. And I give them every once in a while, but a lot of times it's like, hey, it's your class. This is your journey. I've done my academic journey. I've loved teaching and mixing it up. So, all right, as far as it says classroom behavior, but the same principle goes when we get into discussion boards. And here's the thing. I think it's read the COCC principles of community, that second paragraph. I think those are great principles. It falls under what I call the umbrella of respect. Respect yourself, respect your fellow classmates, and respect your instructor. And I will respect myself and respect you guys. The discussion boards take the place of in-class conversations. So have something of substance to say when you I'm going to grade your discussion boards. I know discussion boards can kind of be a pain in the butt, but think of it as being in class and you're engaging with someone that is your classmate. and have something to say besides, hey, great job, I agree with you, thanks for the insights, blah, blah, blah. So that's not going to get you much of a grade at all if you kind of give the rote response. You can look at the final exam and the student rights and responsibilities. Um, Let me know if you have if you're in need of an accommodation, or how I can help make this class more accessible to you. Very serious about accommodations and needs, so let me know, and very serious also about non-discrimination policies and how we engage with one another on the discussion boards. The last thing, which is the last page, page 4 at the bottom, this is the syllabus. This syllabus acts as your first step, right, to answering any questions. This is your instruction manual. If you have a question after referring to the syllabus, if you have any questions, then you can get a hold of me. Let's see see now, switching over to Canvas real quick. So if you want to switch over to Canvas, if you go to Home, okay, it's got let's see here. I'm switching over. Yeah, at the bottom where it says Student Resources, it says Resources for Students. The very bottom clickable area is the Real World ebook access. Click that, and that gives you access to the online book. Okay, and then you have your assignments on the right-hand column, and you can go ahead and check it out. So if you look at assignments, if you want to take a quick look, if you want to go to the assignments or click on an assignment from the right-hand column on your home page, you can open up, say, Chapter 1, WA's writing assignment, Chapter 1 writing assignment, and you can see there's a YouTube lecture for Chapter 1 that I did. It's a few years old now, but the concepts and the theories are there the same. And then, of course, Crash Course Sociology, a couple links there. And then it has short answers. And then with all of my chapter writing assignments, I usually do some kind of application. When we get to chapters 7, 8, and 9, which is 7 is about class and social class, 8 is about race and ethnicity, and 9 is about gender. For applications, there are 3 or more options. You only have to do one of those options. Okay, and they're kind of research on pick one of them. It's something that interests you or something that rubs you the wrong way, maybe, because I usually put in kind of a contrarian perspective in there, just for fun. If you guys are contrarians, then maybe you'll like that. So trying to keep it a little live and interesting. So hopefully you'll enjoy the writing assignments. The first few chapters, chapters 3, 4, and 5, tend to be a little bit. You can apply those. They're kind of micro perspective, socialization, groups, social deviance. Can kind of apply maybe some of your own life experiences and observations to answering the questions. So that's really kind of it. Sorry if I'm a little long-winded, but this is kind of the opportunity I have to say welcome to class, and looking forward to a great term. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. All right, take on the day.